Want to chime in on what's happening with your favorite KFAN program? Make your voice heard on the Bradshaw and Bryant text line. Let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That's 64686. Standard message and data rates apply.
And to be honest with you, all I was doing was looking out for the health and welfare of the entire radio station. Just trying to follow the rules and regulations that have been set down and that have been in place for hundreds or dozens of years. Do you agree with me? I mean,
on what?
The rules and regulations of the radio station. How the
I'm a rule follower.
Yeah. And when you're told that, and then when the rules are being broken, I guess as you're considered, you know what we used to call it when you're a kid, you're a narc.
You're a tattletale.
Yeah, tattletale.
You're a snitch.
Well, I'm looking out for the health and welfare of the entire radio station. But I guess in some cases, tend to be the rules don't apply to everybody. I've learned that. And I should have known that because that's just the way the world is, right?
I just got criticized a couple weeks ago for a Wild Weekly we do what'll be on Wednesday night.
Okay.
One of the segments is too long, in someone's opinion.
Isn't that funny?
Isn't that funny how that works?
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yoga Band's Breast Power Trip Morning Show. Hey, it's time for 534.
Time now for 5 questions. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. Brought to you by Willow River Company. Question number 1. And now it's time to go.
I like guessing what it was going to be. I thought it was going to be
The
The Big Ten has 6 teams in the Sweet 16. Moving on, our number 1, Michigan in the Midwest region. Number 2, Purdue in the West. Number 3, Michigan State in the East. And then number 3, Illinois. Number 4, Nebraska. And number 9, Iowa in the South.
Number 9.
Common, how many Big Ten teams will advance to the Final Four?
Well, here's what I'll tell you. First of all, we got to revisit the whole idea that I said, well, none of the teams that are in it, they just got, they're filled with mercenaries. 1-year guys. I read a story now that says, oh no, 9 of the 16 teams have at least 2 players that have been there forever, and some have 3. That's still not a full team, but maybe guys are staying longer. I guess if you pay them enough money, they'll stay.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, well, I think Michigan gets to the Final Four. Though they'll have to get through Iowa State, won't they? I think Iowa State and Michigan are on a collision course in the Grade 8 if they both win their games to get to the Final Four. And I like Iowa State a lot. I like that team. Couldn't name one player, but I like what I saw, how they played during the March Madness so far. But I guess Michigan. I like Izzo, but he's got to get through Duke in order to get there. But Duke's not unbeatable. But I would say Michigan State's got a pretty good chance. Nebraska, Iowa, who would they
play each other.
Right.
They play the winner of Illinois, Houston, so a decent chance of Big Ten teams getting out of there.
Yeah, Houston's pretty good, but you're right. There is a pretty good chance that a Big Ten team's getting out. In Purdue, can they beat Zona, though? I guess we could get so you want me to give you a number.
Yeah, how many will make,
I'll say they make that Final Four.
Yeah.
Without the brackets in front of me, like you say, Nebraska has to play Iowa, and then the winner might have to play. It's Houston against who did you say?
Houston's got Illinois.
Yeah, so like you say, you got the 3 teams right there in the same bracket. So 2 of them got to go by the wayside. So,
well, you can only get 4 max anyways.
Right.
But yeah.
I'll say 2 will make it. I'll say Michigan will make it, and Michigan State. How much fun would it be to have Michigan against Michigan State in the championship game?
Could you call that a border battle, or what would you call that when it's interstate rivalry?
Interstate rivalry.
Question number 2. It's time now to consider the course.
Tiger Woods will be back swinging a golf club competitively tonight as his Jupiter Links TGL team will play Los Angeles in match 2 of the best of 3 TGL finals. Jupiter lost 6-5 last night with a lineup of Tom Kim, Kevin Kisner, and Max Homa, but now Tiger is in the lineup. Common, will the return of Tiger Woods get you to watch TGL tonight.
Oh, I wouldn't watch TGL if they were playing in my backyard. I'd call the police and say there's people taking divots in my Willow River Experience manicured backyard. Could you call the police?
I watched it last night. I actually liked it. I enjoyed it.
Haven't you had some painting done at the house recently? How about socks? Are they all sorted? What about the asphalt?
I mean, the Wild weren't playing. The Wolves weren't playing. NCAA basketball, men's at least, wasn't going on. So I'll watch it if there's nothing else going on. I won't prioritize it, but and it was the final. They're playing for $9 million. So they're into it. And it was Rose, Fleetwood, and Thigala on one side.
Do you think they just pinched themselves and say, no, wait, now. You're saying you want me to show up on a Tuesday. When are these live or are they recorded?
They're live, okay. And these are the finals tonight. So last night, they're playing like a best of three final. So last night, and it came down to the last shot. Unfortunately, Kevin Kisner is playing for Team Jupiter, and that's a problem for Jupiter because he's awful. I think I'm better than Kevin Kisner.
I wouldn't doubt that. You've had an experience that's not like that of a PGA Tour player.
I think I could outplay Kevin Kisner. But he lost on the last hole to Thigala to lose it for his team.
Do you think when they first approached the players on tour and said, hey, we got this idea for you, what's that? Why don't you play some golf on Tuesday? I like play enough golf. No. You're going to go to a little studio where have artificial turf and you're just going to hit pitch shots and make putts and you could win $9 million. And they go, you're making this up. And then they call each other after or they see each other in the practice range and go, did you see what they're doing? They're actually going to give us you're in, right? Well, how can I pass that up? Chance to win $9 million, and all I got to do is show up on a Tuesday night, hit a couple of pitch shots on AstroTurf, and hit a couple of putts. It's the most and I love golf. You know me. I just if you were to ask me what's my favorite spectating sport on television, it's the Masters. Every year, all 4 rounds. Live from on Monday at 7:00 at night. They do it for 3. I watch every set. I love it, but I can't watch it. And just because Tiger's there it's not even really, I guess it's competitive because there's going to be a winner and there is going to be a loser, but it does.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I bet you did.
It's match play. There's a team component to it. They have a shot clock, so there's always action going on. They're discussing strategy of when to throw the hammer.
To do the what?
They can throw the hammer.
What is that?
So let's say my team was playing against your team.
His and your end.
Yeah. And if at any point I feel like my team has the edge in the hole, I can throw the hammer. And then you have to make a decision. If you accept the hammer, the hole is now worth 2 points as opposed to 1 point. If you decline the hammer, you automatically lose the hole and I gain a point.
Do you have, when you
So there's still a strategy involved.
When you throw the hammer, do you have to say, stop, hammer time?
They throw basically like a red challenge flag that you see in football.
Have you seen Hammer Time in a commercial?
Yes, I like it.
Now, let me ask you this. How do you think he felt when his agent called him and said, you're not going to believe it, what's that? They want you to star in a commercial is it for Lowe's? I don't even know who it's for because I'm so...
Yeah, I've only seen it once.
And so you're going to do your stop Hammer Time thing because it's about hammering, it's about construction. No, you're making it up. No, really, what are they going to pay? What do you think he gets paid for that? What would be your guess? Hammer Time. Now, he's well past.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I mean, that
was 80s,
30-some years ago.
Does he headline anymore?
My wife said, man, he still looks good for his age.
Does he do concerts?
No, wow, I'm assuming he might be able to make a casino.
How about
he could make the casino round?
Could he make the iHeart Music Festival? How about
I don't think so.
How about Booty Cruise?
I don't think so.
I think he could do Booty Cruise.
I don't even know if he could do First Ave.
Yeah.
Because he had a couple songs.
Because like Booty Cruise isn't big for the 50, 60-year-old set, right? And that's what he would, right? You would have to be about 50 years old to remember him, right? Is that about right, 50, 60?
I think he could be a part of, so like, it was announced yesterday that at the State Fair, and I'm going to try to get tickets for it, that TLC, Salt and Peppa, and In Vogue are going to be doing a concert at the State Fair next year.
They are not. You're making that up. So can I go with you?
I'll be in attendance. Yeah, I'm sure you'd love to go.
Yeah.
Would
you pick me up and
he
drive
He could
there?
find himself in one of those where there's, like 3 or 4 of them. Right. It's him, MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice at this point should go do a tour together. They're kind of the same era. They both kind of had the main one-hit wonders. They were dancing while they were rapping. It was kind of like corny rap.
Who are the lip syncers? They could join them too.
Well, I think they're dead.
Millie Vanilli. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Millie Vanilli, though, right?
Yes. Oh, I'd go see Millie Vanilli if they were still alive.
Hammer time.
Question number 3.
Time now for an in-depth look at the state of hockey.
Let's say you made the $9 million. Can you make that last?
Well, the 9 immediately becomes 5 after taxes.
And I gotta be honest with you, I'm gonna buy my mom a house and a car.
You got to flaunt.
Flaunt, invest, save.
Both Kirill Kaprizov and Joel Eriksson Ek will return to the lineup against the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight. Marcus Foligno is still being held out. If all Wild players were healthy for the playoffs, John Hines would have some tough decisions to make because they have a lot of players and not enough spots on who'd be in, who'd be out. So my question for you, Common, is how would you construct the roster for the playoffs if all Minnesota Wild players were healthy?
I'm sorry, I really wasn't listening. I was just waiting for my
This is basically one of those questions that I asked you, but I was asking.
Oh.
I'm just going to ask to myself.
Right.
That you were never going to answer?
Yeah, I'll leave it up to 10 to be. Here's what I'll tell you. You're the hockey expert on the show. I'm not paying as close attention to the National Hockey League in general, and specifically the Minnesota Wild as I once did. I'll leave that up to you. How would you construct the lineup?
So it's interesting. I actually threw this out on X today because Michael Russo in The Athletic had a column basically of interviewing players like Marcus Foligno, and they know like not everyone's going to be able to play. Then they're going to have to figure it out. But now let's face it, by the time you get to the playoffs, somebody's going to be hurt and some of the stuff plays out anyway. But they are going to have a tough choice on probably a player who's deserving to be in the playoff roster, at least for game 1, that won't be in, even though you could definitely make a case for them being in.
Tarasenko?
Well, the way Tarasenko's playing, I don't think you can take him out of the lineup.
Not true.
No. I think Fabry's going to be out. Nico Sturm's going to be out. But then to me, that leaves 13 guys for 12 spots at forward.
Hammer time's out.
And I threw out today that I think it would come down to Trenyon. I know people are going to hate when I say this, but Bobby Brink.
Oh, come on.
And Nick Foligno, Marcus's brother. I think it'll come down to one of those 3.
Did you take time to think by eliminating Bobby Brink? That's my question for you.
And here's the deal is, I know people are going to hate when the Brink name's thrown out because...
He's one of us?
Well, he's a better scorer than some of those other guys that are being listed that, right, in terms of roster spot. He has more skill to him. And he's coming off a great game. I mean, the Dallas game, he was awesome. But if everyone's healthy... Bill Guerin, when he chose Team USA to not put the 12 best scoring forwards on their roster, he wanted to construct a team that could win and that would have roles. And if you're playing the Dallas Stars in the first round, which they will, you better have some penalty killers out there.
Right.
So Bobby Brink is not going to kill penalties for you. He's not going to be able to play a physical game, which you would think come playoffs.
And Trennan does. He plays a physical game.
He does.
He leads the league in hits, or at least the team.
Bobby Brink to play has to score. And if there's any doubts about him being able to score, now he did last game against Dallas, but I still think there's a possibility a guy like Brink could. And it's unfortunate because he deserves to play. He's been playing great. But I see them possibly going, hey, we need to make sure we have penalty killers in our bottom 6. We need to make sure we have guys who can win faceoffs that are versatile. And Bobby Brink just doesn't have that element that some of those other guys do. As much as people hate it, because who's going to score a goal for you, Bobby Brink or Trenyon? Probably Bobby Brink.
Had you let me answer the question, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Exactly how you would have said it.
Jumped in all over me.
And that's it for today's edition of 5 Questions. Well, actually 3 questions, but 5 sounds like more than 4.
Presented by Willow River Company. Don't just maintain your proper tea, you can experience it. How about this? The Willow River Experience, I mentioned it to you before. It's a monthly prescription. You can bundle 5 core services, 3 seasonal upgrades, and 4 custom add-ons into one simple plan. It's as easy as that. Visit WillowRiverCompany.com today to build your 534 experience. That's WillowRiverCompany.com.
Never never miss your chance to know what the latest sports news is in
How
town,
can we do
chances
that?
to win tickets, and knowing what's going on with all of your favorite KFAN shows. Follow KFAN 1003 on all of our social channels like Instagram, TikTok, and X now. Stay connected and follow the sports leader, KFAN.
So then, my bringing up breaking of the rules, established rules that have been here for years at the radio station, that was compared to me not knowing scores of games. Like, for instance, the Wild will play tonight, right? Who are they playing again?
Tampa Bay.
So now tomorrow you'll say, what'd you think? And I'll go, I don't know who played, what was the score? That's supposed to be a negative on me and the radio station. Do you know how...
You know what we call that?
What's that?
Whataboutism.
Yeah.
When they can't answer directly what your issue, so they have to go, well, what about this over here?
Right,
they try to deflect
I like
to
that.
whataboutism.
Yeah. Whataboutism.
Politicians do it all the time.
Yes.
You call them out on a certain thing and they go, well, this person did this over here.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I run into that all the time. If it's a Democrat will rip a Republican, but what about, and then the Republican will rip the Democrat, but what about that? And they just go back and forth and back and forth. And
it's
back
like a
and
circle.
Forth. Yeah, it's like a circle.
It's like a carousel.
It is.
You put a quarter in, it goes up and down and around.
You know what it's like?
Circular.
It's like love roller coaster. Say what?
Say what?
Say what? I'm getting ripped, by the way. Well, first of all, before we go about what I'm getting ripped about, this one says Nick Foligno is too valuable at the center position to take out of the lineup. Do you agree?
I think it's a tough spot. I think Nick Foligno's just been kind of meh since he came here. Maybe if he's on a line with Marcus on the fourth line, that they might have a little chemistry going together. I would like to see that. Nick is versatile in that he can take faceoffs for you. He can play center. He can kill penalties for you. I mean, have you seen times where him and McCarron are out on PKs together, and McCarron's right-handed, he's left-handed. So depending on what side of the ice the faceoff's on, they can take a draw from that side. Or it's just nice to have a second guy you can take a draw in case the first guy gets kicked out of the faceoff circle. So he does bring a little bit more versatility in that regard, and he might stand up to the physical rigors of a playoff series. I think he's just been okay so far, but I do think he has the chance to elevate in a postseason.
You cannot, that's capitalized,
Take
cannot bench Trennan, one of the most consistent and catalytic players all year long. Do you agree?
Catalytic?
Yeah, like a catalytic converter.
He's been much improved from last year. He was actually pretty decent in the playoffs last year. After a pretty bad regular season, I thought he improved his skating. Like I said, like whoever you take out is someone that you could argue you cannot take out. That's the whole point. It's a good thing. It's a good problem to have that they have depth, and if guys are hurt or if guys aren't playing well, they're going to be able to be replaced. But assuming everyone's healthy, then someone's not going to be able to play that probably should be worthy of playing.
Our one weakness is lack of speed, not defense. Brink makes us faster. So Jim in St. Paul thinks you got to play Brink because he makes us faster. Do you agree with that?
Well, he's faster than, he does have speed.
And we don't have that, or do we?
We have that in certain, I don't think the Wild are a slow team.
Okay.
Compared to the other players that we're discussing that would be out of the lineup, yes, he's faster than Foligno. He's faster than Trenyan. He's been good. If he keeps playing like he did against Dallas, I think you won't be able to take him out.
Hammer Time could easily do First Avenue. The guy sold 30 million records. Stop. Hammer Time. Was that his only hit, or did he have others?
That was his big hit.
Yeah.
Can't Touch This is the name of the song.
Yeah, Can't Touch This. Well, at the end of the commercial, it's really good because it looks like they're on a work site, and he's got his lunch, and he's got like a sandwich in a bag, and it looks like the guy goes, "Can't touch this." So good.
I'm trying to think. I felt like he had like 3 songs. None of them were as big as Can't Touch This, but I think he had a song called Pray. I'd have to look up his discography.
I think he also had a song called Papa Don't Preach. So there's praying, there's preaching, there's all of that. All right, I think the song you're thinking about is Living on a Prayer. That's the song.
Oh, yeah, Too Legit to Quit.
Too Legit to Quit.
Too legit to quit.
And then the prayer song you're thinking about is Living on a Prayer. Oh. So, speaking of
I always love that one.
commercials and music, I've been oft criticized by the higher ups. You're too old. You have your references are old, and we've tried to update them, but they say, your music's too old too. Of course, now we don't play licensed music at all because of all the controversy with ASCAP, BMI, podcast, this, that, that. But I brought this up to Deuce as I was watching NCAA this weekend. There were 4 ads that had music attached to them, including one commercial that had the song "Feeling All Right, Good Myself." Now, let me guess. Was that recently done by Taylor Swift? That's a new song, right? Taylor Swift? No, it ain't. Well, it must be Morgan Wallen. No, it's not Morgan Wallen. Who's a big rap star right now?
Big rap star?
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar?
Did Kendrick Lamar do a song called "Feeling All Right"? No, that was Dave Mason, 1968, with Traffic, and then it was done by Joe Cocker, the version they used in the 1975, I think. Then there was another song, another commercial. It was for Qdoba. You know what song they used? "Come on and take a free ride." Let me guess. Was that Taylor Swift?
No.
How about Adderley? Kendrick Lamar? Morgan Wallen? Had to be somebody that's recording now because old new. No, that was Edgar Winter and Frankenstein. That was done in 1973. Oh, a song from 1973 being used in a commercial today? Doesn't make any sense. Then there was another one. I don't remember. The part was, "I've been waiting so long. Da-na-na-na-na, Sunshine of Your Love" by Cream. That's 1968. Wait, I thought old music was gone. They're using it to sell products. How about this one? This was also on a commercial that played over and over and over again during NCAA. "Who are you? Who? Now that, I'd recognize that. That's Taylor Swift. No, wait, that's Mary Jane Blige. No, that's
Mary J. Blige.
Isn't that her name, Mary Jane Blige?
Yes, but she's like from the 90s.
Oh, she is? Oh. That's K-pop.
K-pop Demon Hunters?
That's K-pop Demon Hunters. No, that's a band called The Who, and every member of The Who is either dead or 80 years old. So don't tell me that the old classic music of the 60s and 70s still does not reign supreme. Now, they didn't have a song by the Supremes, but my guess is you could fit one in there somewhere. We'll break. We'll come back with a little Dis Dat Lat right here on the Common Man program on The Fan.
There's nothing like live hockey. Experience
like
Minnesota Wild action at Grand Casino Arena all season long, including to Wild versus Canucks on April 2nd and Wild versus Kraken on April 7th. Secure your seats now at wild.com/tickets and join the excitement.
So Sauce texted me. We text and talk more than most people know, and it sounds like he's going over a conversation you and I just had where it was Tarasenko, ? And then the next person said, "I don't think you can leave him off the playoff roster." Then the next person said, "No way." And then he goes, "Ha, ha, 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 ha. You couldn't care less," meaning me. And he's right. I couldn't care less, but I'm just trying to get to 3 o'clock. Just trying to get through 5, 3, 4. And we went late. We didn't break till 11:14. No! We're supposed
It's my fault.
That's your
I threw the question to myself.
Yeah,
and then I went too long.
Yes, it kept going on and on and on because you know what? You're in love with the sound of your own voice.
Well, I thought,
unlike me,
I thought we were allowed to do that now.
We can do whatever we want.
We can just break whenever we want.
You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. This one says, hold on. It's because all your super cool anti-establishment bands from your youth have sold out for hard cash. Well, and let me guess. Let me say to the 612, if you got offered hundreds of thousands of dollars to say, "Hey, we're going to use a little bit of we're going to use a 10-second piece of your music in a commercial, and we're going to give you about $500,000. What do you think?" You're going to tell them no?
How's that selling out, by the way?
Well, because it's like there were some, like, for instance, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young did a song called Ohio. It was about the Kent State shooting. So you wouldn't sell that. That was a protest song speaking about society and the ills of it, or whatever the case may be. The protests for the Vietnam War and all that. So you're selling out to the establishment. You're getting, well, you know what? I don't think they're going to sell Ohio. But if someone said, hey, Neil, a song called Heart of Gold, we'd like to use it in a commercial. Okay, you got to give me a lot of gold for that. How much? I don't know, maybe a couple $1 million. Well, we'll write that check. We're in. There isn't anybody out there that wouldn't do the same thing, so stop with that nonsense. But then there's other people that are saying, for instance, the youth love old music. I'm 24. My Spotify is age 67. There you go. Because that was one of the best music. And that's not to say there isn't occasionally good music that's come out since 1971, but it's very rare. This one says, hold on, where did it go? No, that's not the one. Oh, are you watching old people TV shows when old people music plays its commercials? Fellow old fellow. No, this is during the NCAA basketball tournament. Now they're trying to attract old people. I don't know. What do you think the average age of the people watching NCAA basketball is? I got to think there's a lot of people in their 20s and 30s love it. 40s.
Oh, I think it's a lot. Yeah,
I think it's
the demographic of our radio station.
Yes, absolutely. I think it spreads it spans the gold for the constant variety of sports. So this was a story I was going to get to yesterday. Oh, here's another one. Before we do that, I told you I was getting ripped, and then isn't that funny? I conveniently forgot about the text messages that were ripping me. Okay, wait, now hold on. Oh, here it is. No, that's not it either. Oh, yeah, here it is. A little studio, common man, preposterous statement of the day. Don't they play that, what is it called, TSL? TGL. Isn't that just, that's not played outdoors, is
It's
it?
indoors.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like, it's an arena field. They have bleachers, places for people to sit all the way around
Well,
it.
it's still a studio, though. I mean, studios can be large. I know they're not playing a studio the size of Studio A here at Common Man headquarters, world headquarters, as a matter of fact. But they're still playing in a studio. And then someone else said, Common obviously doesn't know that they hit off natural surfaces, not turf. Do they have real grass they're hitting off of?
I think so, yeah. They bring in like a big square rectangle of actual grass.
Well, why can't they do that for football during dome stadiums? Why can't they just bring in some grass and let them play?
Well, some do.
Oh, they do?
I think Arizona does.
Yeah,
but
I think you might be right there.
It's a little bit more grass to...
It's just not the same. It's just not. To me, TLG, no. TGL is like arena football. It's not real football. This isn't real golf. It's just this isn't.
The difference, though, is arena football has less talented players, whereas this is still...
Yeah.
This would be like Pat Mahomes playing arena football.
Speaking of that, was Tom Brady playing flag football this weekend?
I don't know.
I thought I saw that. And there was a headline. Maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I could have swore I saw that. And then what I thought I read was the flag football teams were beating. They set something up, unless I dreamt this or somebody made it up. NFL players were slapped together to play some, because I guess, did they really go through with the idea of doing professional flag football? Is there a league going on?
It's going to be at the Olympics.
Yeah.
That's
where
going
I'm
to be
getting
the next Summer Olympics.
That's what I'm getting. So they actually have a league like that, though, right?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
They have a league for everything.
Preposterous. Again, it's like TGL. It's like cornhole. It's like dart league. All these they're just made up. For what? Why don't we have enough sports? Is your whole life just sports? What's the one where you get inside a big plastic bubble and you roll around? Half the people are playing soccer, kicking the ball, and the other half are in a big bubble. Have you seen? You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
I tweeted out some of it before. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It's like, when you go to the Saints game and two guys are in a sumo. I did that once. I did the sumo suit thing. There's some kind of soccer that's played where half the team, they're inside these great big huge inflatable bubbles. Their feet are out of the bottom and they can run, but they roll around too. And it's like, I didn't think it was real. It's like, well, how is that even? I mean, I guess anything can be a sport, whatever you want to do, right? And I guess if you're interested in watching, it caught my eye. I started watching it. I tweeted it out. I took a shot of the TV screen and then tweeted it out. But I think the story then went to, will pros play in the Olympics on the flag football, NFL players? And the question was, will Tom Brady? I think Brady will, because the competitive juices probably still flow for all these guys, right? I mean, my guess is he retired just because he was getting old, right? 45, 46 years old. You can't play football forever. He's got rings. He's got
lots of them.
Does he have 6 of them? He's got six or seven rings. So there's nothing left for him other than, well, maybe I could go win a gold medal. It's like the NBA players. Same thing. Hey, got an idea for it. What's that? You play on the United States Olympic basketball team. Well, that's for amateurs. You go to Durantula and say, that's for amateurs. Not anymore. Pros can play. Really? Hey, okay. Hey, not only do I have hundreds of millions of dollars, I have NBA championships and MVP awards. I'm idolized and pedestalized. They're eventually gonna put me in the Ring of Honor. They're gonna put my jersey in the rafters. They're gonna put me in the Hall of Fame. And guess what? They're gonna make a bronze statue of me. And now you're gonna let me play for a gold medal? I'm in. So Brady's going to do it for sure, don't you think? And you know what? I guess.
How old will he be by the time the Summer Olympics rolls around?
But it's just flag football. He can still spin it, I would think, right? And it's flag, so he's not going to get hurt. He won't need to have that buzzer taped around his ankle. Remember when they used to tape a buzzer around it? You know what? Ever notice that Tom Brady had these big taped up ankles? It's because there was a buzzer in there, and then somebody in the press box, when he was about to get hit from behind, they had press it, because it didn't seem like he had eyes in the back of his head better than any quarterback in pro football. That's what I think they were doing. I'm going to make that accusations right now. Allegedly. Alleged. But that was one of the allegations, never proven. But that was one of the allegations against Brady back in the day. So I think he would you, if you were Tom Brady, would you go, yeah, why not?
Yeah, if you're capable.
It gives you something to do. Well, I think he'll be capable.
It's like football. Do you want more of a quarterback that can run a little bit?
You want?
It's not like you're gonna have like that nice pocket in front of you of
Yeah, I know, but what you want is
5-6-ish offensive line.
What the networks want and what the Olympics want is all eyes on us. Everybody on the GOAT.
Oh, people would watch.
All eyes on us. Everybody watching the GOAT. That's what they want. So here was a story, Tenneby. About it was an athletic story from the World Baseball Classic. This was from, what's the date today? 24?
Yes, 24th.
This was 3-4 days ago. Headline: Aaron Judge addresses Team USA's perceived lack of fun during WBC. Dateline, Tampa, Florida. Chris Kirshner does the story. Over the past few weeks, Aaron Judge said his family and friends have asked him about the perceived lack of joy Team USA displayed in the World Baseball Classic, particularly compared with teams such as Venezuela, the Dominican Republic, Italy, and Mexico. It's an outside opinion that Judge feels he can't change no matter what he says. Judge says, everybody's different. Every culture is different. I loved everything that Mexico was doing, what Great Britain was doing, what DR, with how they celebrate the game and how their fans celebrate the game. That was amazing. If they're going to say we don't have the passion, my passion is grinding in this cage where nobody's watching, grinding as a 6-year-old in the backyard with my dad. That's where our passion came from as kids. If I don't show it really like that, it doesn't mean I don't love the game. I can't really talk on somebody else's opinion about it. Everybody in that clubhouse, every single one of those guys is probably the most fun they've ever had playing the game the past 2 or 3 weeks, including myself. We had a lot of fun. We had some passion. You saw some emotion from guys you usually don't see showing emotion. We had a blast. And why is it that everybody feels that in order for you, that if you're participating, whether it's in a Sandlot baseball game, a pickup baseball game, Pop Warner, Howard Pulley, high school, college, pros, Olympics, you're supposed to be just overwhelmed with joy and jumping up and down and dropping to your knees and sobbing. Look at how much it means to them. I don't like to talk about myself or use myself as an example or a comparison or an analogy, but I'm going to make an exception in this case. I was talking about it with Chad Abbott before we got into it a little bit. He was coming down on me. But I can watch a game in person or on TV and be really into it. Like, let's say it's Kitties playing or Vikings playing, big game, right? Vikings versus Philadelphia, NFC Championship game. We really weren't that far out of the game. Touchdown, 2-point conversion, touchdown, 2-point conversion. I was like, and when the Vikings went ahead, I didn't just like, yeah, touchdown and jumping up and down and screaming, because I just don't do that. It doesn't mean I'm not just as excited as the next guy that is jumping up and down. And to show because the other teams were, hitting a home run and you're flipping the bat and jumping up and down, and another team guy hits a home run and just, I've been there before, act the old, play like you've been there before. Why would people immediately assume, well, you guys didn't look like you were having much fun? What's wrong with you guys? Some people just aren't that demonstrative, and everybody can be pumped up about something or passionate about something or enjoy something. You and I talk about this when it comes to golf. You would think I would be the guy on the golf course if I knocked down a long, curling 30-foot birdie putt, which I do often, trust me, that I'd be pumping my fist and jumping. I don't. I just like to do the little hand wave like Nicholas and like the pros do. Just give a little hand wave. Just like, it's okay.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, you're the same way. I just don't get that.
Other than a 30-foot putt for a quintuple bogey.
Then you're pumped up. Then you get really jacked up.
Other than that, yeah, everyone has different personalities.
Yeah, and I don't see why people were asking the question. Well, just because some people don't show it as much as, and some people, it's like we used to talk about like the great Barry Sanders. Get a touchdown, just hand the ball to the official. I've done this before. I don't care that they do it. It's all right that they do it. They have fun doing it, and most fans, I think, love it. If the defense gets a turnover, the guy that gets the ball signals at his buddies, come on, let's go down to the end zone and do our little rehearsed, pre-planned celebration. And they're harmless. I don't think they should be banned. Some of them are kind of fun. The one where they have, like, the guy will pretend he's throwing a bowling ball, and then everybody will fall over like they're bowling pins. And they all have their different celebration. You have the Giddy by Jets. That's what Rosen calls it, I think, the Giddy. So you have the Giddy, and that's cool. People love the Giddy. It's like, and I don't care that they do it, but the celebration stuff for me doesn't add to my enjoyment of the game. I don't need to see it. It doesn't. But they're pumped. And especially when, a special team, of course, a special teams guy doesn't get much of an opportunity to make a play, right? So if he makes an open field tackle on a kickoff, you would think, wow, if you just showed a highlight of it, they go, did they just win the big game? Well, no, this was week 2, and the team, they're trailing by 20. And it's early in the fourth quarter, and he made a tackle. He's just happy because he never gets a chance to play, or doesn't get a chance to make tackles very often. So if criticism or the questions about Team USA and their lack of enthusiasm, I find that misguided myself.
Whenever a team loses, that people try to point to stuff like that, right? If it had gone the other way and the U.S. had won, everyone would be like, well, it looks like the U.S. wanted to actually take care of business while the other teams just think they're out there partying
right
out on the baseball field. So whenever a team loses, especially in a big game, people like to dissect little things like that really don't matter in any way, shape, or form.
Another topic came up last week while you were away, coming on the heels of the players. It's the age-old question, should it be considered a fifth major? And the new commissioner of the PGA, and I forget his name now. He's brand new. He just started. And he said something in a promo message. March is about to become major.
The Jay Monahan?
Yeah. No, Jay Monahan's out.
Oh, nice Google search.
Yeah.
Thanks, AI overview.
Yeah, I think Monahan's out.
Brian Rolap.
Yeah, that's him. And there was
Well, it's because Monahan technically still is, it looks like, until the end of 2026, but they've already have a succession plan in place.
Well, I think, he's probably just a figurehead now.
Yeah.
Rolap is the guy doing all he's been appearing at all the news conferences talking about, he has this grand plan, what the PGA is going to do and how they're going to make it bigger and better and greater than it's ever been. But they did this, March is about to be major. And then that brought up should be a fifth major. Everybody wants to have a fifth major. And the Power Trip morning show, apparently, I was told, was they just don't understand why it wouldn't be called a fifth major. And Tenby, I don't know if your opinion, if you share my opinion, is just like, well, it doesn't need to be a fifth major.
Why? Why do we need another major?
Right. Why do we have to have something labeled a major? There doesn't seem like there's any reason. Plus, and I know that all sports have changed, where Major League Baseball went from 154 to 162. Now, to me, you have to have two different sets of records. Like, if you, Babe Ruth hit his 61 home runs or 60 in 154 games. Roger Maris did in 162. Well, it took extra games to make it. It was still the most in a season. So you have to do the same thing. Now, you have to go back and go, well, a lot of those guys never got to play in the players because it didn't exist, so they don't get a chance to. Now they don't have they don't have that major, right? They don't get to claim an extra major and think of all the other players that would. And I loved a story I saw in The Athletic. Gabby Herzig wrote it. Chaos Curated, Why TPC Sawgrass Rises Above Fifth Major Conversation. And if you've watched, the reason the Players is fun to watch is because the golf course, it's a Pete Dye design, and it is Dye has always done diabolical. That's where they came up with the word diabolical. Pete Dye always has diabolical layouts, but TPC Sawgrass is almost like none other. Cameron Young had a come from behind victory. I don't know, Tenby, you were gone, so I don't think you had. Were you gone when the Players was being played? I think you were.
I'm aware. I'm aware of that he won the tournament.
And how so many people, every single person that was contending, including Young, had at least one terrible double bogey or triple or quadruple bogey that just took them. Oberg was winning almost the entire tournament. He had a 3-shot lead. He gets to 11. He rinses a tee shot. He gets to 12 and rinses a tee shot. I think he went double bogey or bogey double. He was out of the tournament. It happened to JT. JT, I think, had an 8 on a hole. There was at least 1 or 2 holes that eliminated them from having a chance to win. They talked to Moore afterwards. Asked after his 1-stroke win about his stress level all day, Young's instincts kicked in. He was exhausted, he said. He mustered up the energy to answer questions with only a few remaining brain cells. TPC Sawgrass takes it all out of you because double bogey lurks around every corner. Here's what he said. This place has had my number the last few years. I've never really had a good finish here. It is incredibly taxing. Every shot, all day long, you can get yourself into trouble. There's no easy ones. There's no givens. And you're going to make mistakes. Then it talks about, Fitzpatrick. He was in it at the very end. He was tied with Young. They're playing together. Fitzpatrick makes bogey. Young makes par, and Young wins. But here's what it says in here about the golf course itself. It says, Dye's approached his life's work with an eye for intimidation. No one knows it better than Davis Love III, who is now helping to restore some of the course's flair. TPC Sawgrass is the first and biggest reason the Players' Championship does not need to be called a major to be great. Riviera and TPC Scottsdale, hosts of the Genesis and the Waste Management, respectively, come close, but Sawgrass is undoubtedly the tour's crown jewel if the goal is to put on a show. The venue perfectly blends entertainment with fine competition. The manufactured, man-made feel may not appeal to golf architecture purists, and I'm one of those. That is part of the problem why I never really glommed onto the Players like all other fans did. I was saying, the Players, it's okay, but the course just looks manufactured, but all golf courses are to a certain extent, right? But it says you cannot deny that the course lends itself to drama. It bites back exactly when it needs to. And then there's a quote from Rory McIlroy. He says, it's the players. Like, it doesn't need to be anything else. Like, I would say it's got more of an identity than the PGA Championship does at the minute. So he's saying, we don't need to call it a major. There's no reason to do that. And that's why I think people need to calm down and pump the brakes on. It seems like everything has to change. NCAA tournament wasn't good enough with just 64 teams. Now guess what we have to do? We've got to add play-in games. Guess what? We can't handle ties in the National Hockey League. We have to have overtimes, 3-on-3, and then we have to have shootouts because we just can't have a tie. We can't do that. And sometimes I think you just change things just because you can and feel it needs it.
Well, it changes the record books from here on out.
Exactly.
The list of how many majors, and there's no need to do it.
No, none.
Then you get to that and you're like, what's up next? The 3M Open needs to be a major.
Yeah, you could. You could
right?
start. You could start.
I'm going to start that argument.
Well, you could certainly like Riviera. Riviera is my favorite. I like Riviera even better than TPC Sawgrass. That's just me. I like Riviera because it's more of that old school Parkland style traditional golf course. I love.
What about the one where all the rubes are drunk and screaming in the 17th hole?
That's the waste management.
Make it a major.
You could make it.
We got to do it.
Yeah, you could. No need. The legendary one, we'll see what he thinks about all of this and more. Mark Rosen joins us next here on The Fan.